Good morning and welcome to the webinar on Zoho CRM Zoho Meeting integration. I thank you all for joining us today. I'm Anisha. I'll be your host for today's webinar. In this webinar, we will see how to engage your leads through online meetings and webinars without moving away from your Zoho CRM portal. Before I begin this webinar, I would like to share a little bit about how you can interact with us today. As an attendee of the webinar, you will be in listen and view only mode. If you have any questions during the webinar, feel free to ask them in Q&A option on your screen, and our experts will respond to your questions throughout the session. And of course, we will save some time at the end for a dedicated Q&A session as well. I'm also recording this presentation, and I'll be sending out an email with a link to the recorded version for your future references. Here is the agenda for today's session. I'll give you an introduction to Zoho Meeting and an overview of online meeting features. Why should you integrate and how the integration helps you? I'll show you how you can engage your leads using this integration with a complete walkthrough of CRM Meeting integration. How to get this add-on for your CRM users. Similarly, we'll do the same for webinar integration. I'll give you an overview of webinar features. Why should you integrate webinar and how the webinar integration helps you? A complete walkthrough of CRM webinar integration and how to get this webinar add-on for your CRM users. Following with the Q&A session. So this slide gives you an overview of online meeting features. With online meeting, you can host advanced web meetings with controls of various aspects such as web meetings audio controls to mute or unmute your meeting participants. You can also remove any meeting participant. You can also lock your meetings if you want it to be secured and a lot more. You and your participants can choose the audio option for your meetings. It can be either computer audio to talk right from your computer's mic and speakers, or we also have dial-in numbers for 40+ international countries to join the audio conferences via phone. You can choose to join using either of the options, but the audio will bridge to the same conference. We also have screen sharing feature. With the screen sharing feature, you can choose to share either a particular application window or entire screen sharing with your meeting participants. For example, if you are giving a demonstration of your product and you just want to share a particular application window, then you can choose application window sharing option. Application window sharing option is currently available only in Chrome browser. In future updates, we'll be supporting this feature in other browsers as well. We also have share screen option for your participants to share their screens with others during the meeting. For example, if you're conducting a team meeting with your team members who are located in different regions, and if they want to show some information that they have on their computer, this feature will be very helpful for them to share their screen with others. All your meetings can be recorded. Once the recording is completed, you can view it online and share the recordings with anyone you want for their future references. You can do all these within your CRM account. So before I proceed with this slide, I would like to know a little bit about our audience today. So I'm going to raise this poll question now. Let me know whom do you prefer to host online meetings with. So you're provided with multiple options such as leads or contacts or CRM users within your org. Please let us know your preference to host online meetings with. All right, I could see 21% of votes is for leads, 39% of votes is for contacts, and the rest is for CRM users within your organization. Thank you for your participation in this one. So why should we integrate? Your meetings need not always be in person. You may also prefer to go online with a product demonstration for a client or prospect, or have a discussion where your team members from other branches of your company can easily join. Web conferencing helps you to connect with millions of customers across the globe. CRM helps you to manage these customer data. Now, how about having a single solution to interact, engage, and at the same time manage these details all at one place? So you no more need a separate application to manage your online meetings. We have it all inside Zoho CRM now. With this integration, we made it easy for you to schedule and host online meetings from within your CRM portal and track all the activities of your leads and contacts. So how the online meeting integration helps you? You can launch quick meetings with your leads and contacts and close deals faster. You can organize your business meetings, product demonstrations well in advance within your Zoho CRM portal. While creating events, you can add the CRM contacts and leads to invite to the meeting. We've also made it really simple for you to launch all your meetings right from your CRM portal with just a single click. You can keep track of the meetings from open and closed activities of a particular leads or contacts page. Once the meeting is over, you can view the detailed meeting reports from within the CRM Activities tab, such as who are invited for the meeting, how many participants actually attended the meeting, the duration of each and every single attendees, etc. The integration will also help you to view and send the meeting recordings from your Zoho CRM portal itself. You can view the recordings from Activities tab and share your session recordings to follow up with your meeting participants. So I'll walk you through with the demonstration. I'm currently in the CRM portal now. To set up the CRM meeting integration, you have to log on to your Zoho CRM from your admin account. Now go to Setup, Marketplace. You can see Zoho here. Just choose Zoho. Select Zoho Meeting. Because the integration is already enabled on this account, I can see a Manage button. Otherwise, you'll get a Setup Now button like this. So when you click on Setup Now, the meeting CRM will get integrated. This will allow you to create an event or online meeting in Zoho CRM, add participants, invite them for your meeting, and they will be receiving a join link to join your meeting. You can also do the same from your Zoho Meeting portal. You have to log on to meeting.zoho.com, either create an instant meeting or schedule a meeting. You can manage all your meetings, the recordings, everything from your Zoho Meeting portal as well. So this integration will allow you to host meetings with a maximum of 100 participants per meeting. At this point, I would like to raise another poll question here. Let me know how many participants do you expect in your meetings? So you're provided with multiple options again, mostly one-on-one meetings or up to 10 participants or more than 10 participants. Let us know your expectations. Right, I could see 40% of votes is for mostly one-on-one meetings, 50% of votes is for up to 10 participants, and the rest is for more than 10 participants. So thank you for your participation in that one. I'm in the leads module now. And if I have these leads with whom I want to quickly schedule a meeting, I can choose any particular lead. So let me choose this person. And if I want to start an instant meeting with this particular lead, I can go to the More Actions at the top right corner. Click on the three dots. You can see a Meet Now button. Click on Meet Now. This will let you instantly start a meeting with that person from your CRM account. Provide the topic of the meeting. Add the description if you have any. Choose the duration of the meeting. Now this particular person is already selected as a participant. In case if you have any additional participants, you can click on the Add button. To add participants from any of these modules, from your contacts module or leads, you can simply choose them and hit the Done button. So you can see 2 participants are selected, and these 2 people will be receiving the meeting invitation email, and they'll be having a join link in it. You can simply click on the Start Meeting button to instantly start the meeting. It will take you to the meeting page where you can choose the audio option and proceed with the meeting. So this will allow you to instantly start a meeting. In case if you want to schedule a meeting for later, you can simply click on here. More Actions. You can see Schedule Online Meeting button. Click on that. So at the topic of the meeting, make sure you make this an online meeting. So only when you make this an online meeting, an invitation email containing the join link and the steps for joining the online meeting will be sent to the participants. And at the scheduled time, they would be able to join the meeting from the invite email, and you can start it from your Zoho CRM itself. So I've made this an online meeting. As you can see, it is powered by Zoho Meeting. Now choose a specific date and time you plan to host the event. Okay, the date and time are now chosen. You can also schedule meetings on behalf of any of your other org members. So let me choose my test account here. And I'm going to add this person as a participant. In case if I have more participants, I can click on Add to add someone else from any of these modules. And if there is someone who wants to be invited, but that particular person is not there in your CRM, you can simply add their email address here to invite them for the meeting. Okay, hit done. You can see 2 participants are now selected. Now hit the Save button. From the View Details, the Event Success message, you can view everything about the meeting. So what date and time it is planned to schedule. How many participants were invited for the meeting. You can also view the RSVP status. You can view the invitation link as well in case if you want to copy the link and send it to any other participant, or even to them in case if you want to share from your personal email or from the instant messenger, you can simply copy the join link. At the time of the meeting, you can simply hit the Start Meeting button to start the meeting from your CRM. So similarly, you can go to your Contacts module, choose any contact, click on More Actions. You can either start an instant meeting by clicking on Meet Now or schedule an online meeting for later. There are a couple of places where you can actually schedule an event within CRM. You can go to Open Activities, click on New Event, add the topic, make this an online meeting, choose a specific date and time, right? Add the participants. So I'm going to add this person from Contacts module and this particular person from Leads, hit Done. So 2 participants are selected. I'm also going to add Richard as a participant, hit Save. You can see the activity under Open Activities of a particular contact. Once the event is over, you can find the same under Closed Activities. So all the meetings you conducted with a particular lead or contact will be tracked within the CRM portal under Open and Closed Activities. You can also view the reports and recordings, everything here. Similarly, you can schedule meetings from your calendar. Just go to your calendar, select a date and time, hit new event. Okay, providing the topic of the meeting. I'm making this an online meeting. Okay, the date and time is already selected. I'm adding the participants. I'm going to hit the save button. As you can see, the meeting is now created successfully. At the time of the meeting, you can simply come to your CRM calendar, click on a meeting and hit the start meeting button. You can also see the online events are notified with this icon. So you can also add events from activities module. Just go to your activity, click on event to add the event. You can see all your records here, all your events. During the event, you can simply click on a particular record to start the meeting. Now, a couple of different places where you can actually start the meeting from. You can start the meeting from a particular leads or contacts. So choose a particular contact. You can see the open activities. Just click on the activity and you can start from here. Or you can directly go to your activities module, click on a particular record. You can launch the meeting from here. You can also launch the meeting from your activity reminder pop-up. So if there is any reminder, you will hit the start icon here. You can simply start the meeting. You can also start it from your calendar. So let me start meeting directly from the calendar here and show you how the meeting UI will look like. Your participants can click on the join link from the event invite to join the meeting. So whenever you start the meeting or whenever your participants join the meeting, you and your participants have to choose an audio option. It can be either computer audio or the phone call option. In case if you want to proceed with your computers, mic and speakers, or in case if you want to host video meetings, you can choose computer audio option. Alright, I hope you all can see me now. This is the external camera device connected on my computer. Similarly, if you have any external camera device, you can choose it from this video enumeration. You can also choose your audio input device here from the drop down. Let me also show you the default camera view. So this is the default view on my computer. If you do not want to proceed with video meeting, you can simply turn it off to proceed only with the microphone using the computer audio option. So let me also choose the phone audio option to show you how it works. So if you want to dial in from your phone, click on phone call option. You can select your country. If you are from United States, choose United States. To get United States dial-in number, access code, and PIN number. You can use these details to dial in from your phone and connect the audio conference from your phone. Similarly, your participants can choose the audio of their choice. It can be either phone or computer. Alright, so I've just started the meeting and this is the meeting UI. This page will allow you to invite someone after starting the meeting in case if you want to add any instant invite. You can just add their email address here. Click on the send button. So they'll be receiving an instant meeting invite, or you can simply copy this link and send it via your personal email or your instant messenger. People who can click on this link would be able to get into your meeting. So at the bottom right, you can see some controls where you can mute, unmute your audio, mute, unmute your video. I've connected to this session using the phone call. In between the session, in case if I want to switch to computer audio, I can use this last icon. So this is nothing but a toggle button for audio to switch to the computer or phone. Okay, on the left side, you can see all the presenter controls. The first one will allow you to invite someone by email. You can simply add their email address and hit the send button. or you can share this link with your attendees. Copying this link and you can send it across. So you can see a red color notification mark on attendees and chat. Whenever there is someone who join your meeting, you will get notified with red color notification mark. And whenever you get any new chat, you will be notified with this red color notification mark. Now let me click on attendees to show you my attendees list. So these are my participants. As a presenter, I have control to mute everyone in the meeting and I can unmute all. Or if I want to mute a particular person who has some background noise, I can simply click on his microphone beside his name and click on mute audio. So similarly, you can mute the participants who has some background noise to make the meeting smooth. You can either mute individuals or all the participants during the meeting. The participants will be able to unmute themselves if desired. If they have something to talk, they will be able to unmute themselves and they can communicate during the meeting. We also have an option to remove any participants during the meeting and disconnect them from the meeting using this remove option. Next to the participant's name, you just have to click on the more action, 3 dots, click on remove button to remove someone from your meeting. So the next icon is chat. This is an instant chat feature. In case if you want to share any data or details during the meeting, you can use this space. This is a public chat, so everyone in the meeting would be able to view each other's conversation during the meeting. Okay, the next icon is start sharing. When you're ready to do the screen sharing, click on start sharing. You will get 2 options. If you are on Chrome browser, you will get application window sharing feature as well. So you can either choose to share the entire screen or a particular application window. So let me choose entire screen. And since I have 2 monitors connected, it gives me 2 options like whether I wanted to share the screen 1 or screen 2. So if I have the details that I wanted to share with my meeting participants in screen 1, I can simply share screen 1. I'm going to hit the share button. Alright, now we are sharing the screen. Once the screen sharing is done, you can simply hit back the stop sharing button to stop the screen sharing. Similarly, your participants will have a start sharing button and they would be able to show the information that they have on their computer using this screen sharing feature. Now let me have one of my attendees to start his computer screen sharing so that you can view it. As you can see, Arrow is now the presenter. He's one of my attendees and his computer screen is now getting shared. Similarly, any of your meeting participants can show any details during the meeting with you. Alright, the next icon is lock meeting. You can host private meetings by locking the meeting using this lock meeting option. The participants can then knock and join the meeting only after the presenter's approval. If a meeting is locked, once the required attendees are joined, you can simply lock the meeting so that if someone else is trying to join, they would be able to get into the meeting only after you accept them. So the presenter can choose to accept or reject the participants from joining the meeting. So as you can see here, there are few requests to join the meeting. Some of the participants are waiting to join this meeting. So you can either accept or reject. So when you accept, they will automatically get connected to the meeting. And when you hit the reject button, they will get a message that says permission denied. Anytime during the meeting, in case if you want to unlock the meeting, you can simply hit the unlock meeting button. Alright, the last icon for the presenter control pane is the start recording button. In case if you want the entire session to get recorded, make sure you hit the start recording button as soon as you start the meeting. So the entire meeting will get recorded, and once the meeting is over, you can hit back the stop recording button. You can view the recordings from your email, or you can also go to your Zoho Meeting portal to view the recording, or you can also view the recordings from your activity record page. So once the session is over, you can use this exit button to end the meeting for all your participants. So you've ended the meeting successfully, and you can simply close the tab. So once the meeting is over, you can find the activity under closed activities of a particular lead or contact. Let me show you one of my previous meetings to show you some of the details about the meeting. So once the meeting is over, you can simply click on the participants to view how many of them invited for the meeting. So there were 8 people invited for the meeting, and out of 8, there were 3 people who actually attended the meeting. You can view the attendee details here. So you can see the details of each and every single attendee, the email ID, their name, at what time they joined the session, each and every single attendee's join time, and what time they left the session, how long they were in the session, the duration of each and every single attendee. You can simply click on it to view the details about your attendees. You can also see the automatically uploaded recording in the event here. After the meeting time is expired, you can find this recording uploaded on that particular event record. So you can click on the play button to review it. You can also send the recordings easily to follow up with your leads or customers. So to send the recording, you just have to click on More Actions, Send Recording. So you can choose the recipients, whether you wanted to send the recording only to those who attend the meeting, or people who have not attended the meeting, or all participants who were invited for the meeting. You can choose the recipients. And if there is any additional recipients, you can also add their email ID here so that they will be receiving the recording as well. You can see here is the recording details. So once the recipients are added, hit the send button, and they will be receiving the recording link in an email. They simply have to click on the link to view your recording. So with this, I'm wrapping with online meeting integration demo, and I'm going to take you back to the presentation to show you how you can get this add-on for your CRM users. You can subscribe to this add-on from CRM account or from Zoho Meeting portal at $3 per user per month. If you are in the trial version of CRM, this integration will be enabled by default on your account. CRM admin can anytime subscribe to this add-on from Setup, Marketplace, Zoho, Zoho Meeting, Buy Now at $3 per user per month. You can also find the same in marketplace.zoho.com. Alright, let's move on to the webinar integration with Zoho CRM. So this slide gives you an overview of webinar features. You can schedule a webinar and get the registration link to promote your webinar. Make people register for your webinar and generate new leads and contacts. With this integration, you can also invite any existing leads and contacts to register for your webinars. By default, attendees of webinar will get connected to the computer audio. They can also use the international dial-in numbers to join from their phone if needed. No downloads required for attendees from modern browsers such as Chrome and Firefox to join your webinar. The other browsers requires a one-time application download to attend the webinar. You can share your entire screen to present or any specific application window if you're on Chrome browser using the screen sharing feature. We have engagement feature polling to get opinion of attendees on any topics during the webinar. Attendees can also send any text questions and receive answer instantly using the Q&A tab. All your webinars can be recorded and you can view it online, share with anyone you want, and download to your computer in MP4 format. Once your webinar is over, you can learn how effective it was using detailed analytical reports on registrations, attendee engagement, polls, and Q&A from your webinar analytics. You can also export these reports in CSV and XLS file formats. Alright, it's time for another poll question. Let me know how many attendees do you expect for your webinar. So you're provided with multiple options. Let us know how many attendees do you expect for your webinar. So you have options such as less than 25, 25 to 50 attendees, 50 to 100 attendees, or 100 to 250 attendees. So 250 is the maximum number of attendees we support in Zoho webinar at the moment. Alright, I could see 68% of votes is for less than 25 attendees, 18% is for 25 to 50 attendees, and 13% is for 50 to 100 attendees. Alright, thank you for your participation in that one. So why should we integrate webinar with CRM? Zoho Webinar helps you to generate quality leads, engage with them effectively, and also expand your product's reach globally by doing live presentations. Zoho CRM helps you to get more leads, drive more sales, and grow your business faster. We have now integrated webinars with CRM, and with this integration, we've really made it convenient for you to automatically track all your registrants and attendees and also convert them as your customers. This will also maximize efficiency and increase revenue of your business. How the webinar integration helps you. With this integration, you and your org members can schedule the webinar from Campaigns module in CRM account. You can sync the webinar registration link in email templates to promote your webinar. Also invite the existing leads or contacts to register for your webinar and track their member status. You can pre-create polls to engage attendees during the webinar and also launch the webinar from the Campaigns module at the scheduled time. With polling, you can collect participants' reviews or opinion on a particular topic. You can also answer the queries raised by the attendees instantly using the Q&A feature. All your webinars can be recorded and you can view the recordings under campaign attachments. Once your webinar is over, you can measure your webinar success by viewing the webinar analytics. It gives you the detailed report on number of people invited for the webinar, how many attendees you've got, and the registrants list, the duration of each and every single attendee, poll responses, and Q&A asked during the session. Now let me show you the demonstration of webinar integration in CRM. You should first enable Zoho Webinar from the marketplace to create webinars within Zoho CRM. So I'm in the CRM portal now. To set up the integration, you have to go to the setup, marketplace, choose Zoho. You can see Zoho Webinar here. Now, since the integration is already enabled on this account, I'm getting a manage button. Otherwise, you'll get a setup now button like this. So click on setup now to enable the integration. A few configurations have to be done after enabling the integration. You have to add users to give access to your users for this integration. So if you have any users, you can simply choose them and click on assign. So I've already added a couple of them here. So you can see the members that I have in Zoho Webinar integration. If you want to add more users, you can click on add users. Now choose the email reminder timing. So select the reminder time from the drop-down list. At the chosen time, the webinar registrants will receive an email reminder about the event. So I'm going to choose 15 minutes before. In push registered participants in webinar to CRM, you can choose either leads or contacts from this drop-down. So if you choose leads, once you set up this, new registrants from that point forward are individually added as new leads or contacts in your CRM automatically. So you can push the registered participants in webinar either in leads or contacts module in CRM of your choice. In update member status, select the status from the drop-down list. So the server status is non-editable. You can see the server status is invited, registered, and attended. In case of Zoho Webinar, the statuses will be invited, registered, and attended. You can set the member status in CRM of your choice. So for example, if you want the invited server status to be invited, you can choose here, or the registered people to be planned, attended is responded. You can just change according to your choice. So you can select any member status of your choice here. So once the member status is updated, now hit the save button. So the setting is updated successfully now. Now that the configuration is done, I'm moving to the campaigns module to create my webinar. So you can create the webinars from campaigns module in Zoho CRM. Now click on the add icon at the top right. Only when the integration is activated, you will get the Zoho Webinar option here. Now choose Zoho Webinar. So in this create campaign page, you can enter all the details about the webinar. So choose a specific date and time you plan to schedule the event. Select the duration. Choose the campaign owner here. So let me choose myself. Provide the campaign name. So the campaign name is the webinar title. Going to be introducing mobile apps. The type will be in Zoho Webinar. You can choose any status if needed. The rest are the usual campaign field. If needed, you can fill it up. Provide the description of the webinar. The description is a great place for you to set the agenda of the webinar, allowing your registrants to know what are the topics that you're going to cover during the event. It's going to be about iOS apps and Android apps. Okay. So now that the details about the webinar is provided, I'm going to hit the save button. At this point, the webinar is scheduled and you will get the registration link here. And here you can see all the details about the campaign. Like what is the topic of the campaign? You can see the registration link. At what date and time it is planned to schedule. You can see the duration. Who's the presenter? The status. You can view all these details here. We've got the registration link here. So the next activity is to promote your webinar. To promote your webinar, you can add the webinar registration URL in your email template. To add webinar registration URL in email templates, you have to go to the setup again, customization, click on templates. So in the email tab, you can select any desired template if you already have one. Let me create a new template. Make sure you should choose the template only from the leads or contacts module here. So the module should set to only leads or contacts. Okay, so let me choose leads, hit next. Okay, let me choose the template from the gallery. Enter a template name. So it's going to be my webinar name, which is introducing mobile apps. Enter a template subject. Register for the webinar is the subject. So now you can choose a specific text area and then you can click on create link. Now the link type should be Zoho webinar registration URL, so that whenever you choose this particular template, the corresponding webinar's registration URL will be added automatically here. Provide the title, register for the webinar, and hit the save button. Similarly, if you wish to add the registration link to a button, choose button, click on button properties, provide a button name. So it is submit now. So I'm going to change this button as register now. Choose the link type as Zoho webinar registration URL, so that Zoho webinar registration URL will be linked to this particular button, and hit the save button. You can see the button is now changed to register now. So similarly, once the modification in the template is done, you can hit the save button to save the changes. Choose any existing folder, or if you want to create any new folder to put the template, you can just create the new folder. So I have already created a folder named webinar. So I'm going to add this template to this particular folder and I'm going to hit the save button. Alright, you can see the template is now added. So the webinar is now scheduled and the email template is now added to promote your webinar. So these things are now ready. Now the next step is to invite people for your webinar. So before I show you how to invite your leads and contacts from CRM, I would like to raise this poll question. Whom do you prefer to invite for your webinar? Let us know your preference. You're provided with two options. One is existing leads, contacts, or you would like to invite any new leads or contacts. Okay, I could see 60% of votes is for existing leads and contacts, and the remaining is for creating any new leads and contacts and inviting for the webinar. Thank you for your participation in that one. So to invite leads and contacts, you have to go to your campaigns module. Select a record. So this is the webinar that I've just scheduled. I'm going to choose this webinar. Now click on leads. Just click on invite. Select the existing leads or contacts similarly to invite for your webinar. So you can simply add them. If you have any new lead, you can quickly add them here. Put their details and save, and you can instantly add the lead and invite from here. So once the leads are added, I'm going to hit the next button. Choose the campaign member status from this drop down. So I want these people to be in invited status. So I'm going to choose invited, hit the next button. Now select the template. So I'm going to choose this template. When you choose that template, this particular webinar's registration link will be added to this email template. So all that they have to do is just click on the register now button in the template to register for your webinar. Now hit the send button. Right, the email is now sent. The invited people will get listed under leads or contacts of that particular email campaign. So this is this particular email campaign that I've just scheduled. I went in, I've invited people from leads, and those invited leads are now added as leads under this leads section. Similarly, you can go to contacts, invite someone. You can also create new contact. Next, I wanted them in invited status. Next, I'm selecting the template. If you want to create any new template for the contacts, I can instantly select one, save. Okay. I'm going to add in webinar folder. And send. So the campaign member status defines the status of the leads or contacts who have participated in the campaign. You can see here it shows invited. The service status also shows invited. In case if you want to update the campaign member status, you can do that. Just click on the edit button and you can change the status. So you can see the status is now updated. So after inviting the leads and contacts for your webinar, you can create your poll. Say if you want to create a poll to collect participants' reviews or opinion on a particular webinar, you can do so by creating a poll here. Just click on create poll. So you have two options. One is multiple choice and another one is star rating polls. Here you can put the questions and the answers you want them to choose from. You can create unlimited polls and launch anytime during the webinar. So let me create a quick poll question here. So how would you rate this session? You have a minimum of 3 stars to maximum of 10 stars. Let me choose 5, 1 being bad and 5 being good. Hit the create button. So with the feedback of the attendees of your webinar, you can evaluate your current webinar's content, presentation's effectiveness, and you can improve them for your future webinars. As you can see, the poll is now added. In case if you want to add more poll questions, just hit the create poll button to add more poll questions to your webinar. Now that the preparation of the webinar is over, I'll show you how to launch the webinar. You can simply click on launch webinar button here to launch the webinar straight away from your CRM account. So when your attendees click on the join link, they will automatically get connected to the computer's audio. However, as a presenter, you can choose audio option of your choice. It can be either phone call or computer audio. In case if you want to present using your computer's microphone and speakers, you can use computer audio or you can choose phone call option. So if you choose phone call, you can go ahead with your country's dial-in number, select a country, get that particular country's dial-in number, use the access code and PIN number to dial in from the phone and start the webinar. You can also send any instant invite from here by simply adding the email ID after starting the webinar and you can send. Similarly, you can copy the link and send it from your personal email or from your instant messenger. At the bottom right, you can see some controls to mute, unmute your audio, mute, unmute your video, or to switch between the computer and phone call option, you can use the last icon. So when you're ready to present, hit the Start Sharing button. You can share the entire screen, or if you are on Chrome browser, you can also share a particular application window. So let me hit this entire screen and selecting a particular screen to share. So your screen is currently shared with your attendees, and once the webinar is over, you hit back the Stop Sharing button again to stop the screen sharing. Alright, on the left side, you can see all the attendees, controls. You can view the attendee list. Whenever you get any new attendees, you will be notified with a red color notification mark. Similarly, whenever you get any new questions from your webinar attendees, you can see this red color notification mark. You just click on the Q&A tab to answer for their questions. The questions will be visible only to the presenter. In case if you feel you want to show the question and also the answer to all the webinar attendees, you can answer to all. Or you can answer privately to that particular person who asked this question. So this is something that I can show to everyone. So I'm choosing to answer to all. In case if you have more information, you can answer again. You can see the name of the attendee who asked this question and along with the timestamp. So the next one is polls. Whatever polls that you've created while scheduling the webinar will be listed down here. Anytime during the webinar, you simply have to click on the Start Poll button to launch it. So the poll results will be viewed only by the presenter. So anytime during the session, in case if you want to view the result again, you can click on View Result to view the result again. So the last icon for the presenter is the Start Recording button. Just in case if you want the entire webinar to get recorded, make sure you hit the Start Recording button as soon as the webinar is started. The entire webinar will get recorded, and once the session is over, you can hit back the Stop Recording button. So once the webinar is over, you can use this Exit button to end the webinar for all your participants. We've ended the webinar successfully. You can simply close the tab. So now that the webinar is over, you wanted to measure the webinar success, like how many of them invited, how many of them registered, how many of them attended actually. So all these details can be viewed in your campaigns module itself. So let me select one of my previous webinars. So you can view the stats here. So the lead stats and the contact stats can be viewed. How many of them invited, planned. You can see the member status here. So out of the people who've invited, 3 people are yet to register, 5 already registered, and out of that 2 people actually attended the webinar. So you can view the webinar recording here under attachments. Just click on the recording. You can watch the recording. You can download the recording to your computer using this download button in MP4 format. You can also copy this link and send it to anyone you want. You can view the poll results here. So for the questions that you've asked, you can see the poll responses, how many stars that you've got for the star rated question. Similarly, the questions and answers asked during the webinar can be viewed here. So the person who asked the question, here is the question and the answer provided by you. You can also see the webinar reports here. So just have to click on Zoho Webinar Reports. A webinar report will include the list of attendees, registrants, polls, Q&A reports, and performance reports. You can also download them as a CSV or XLS file for your future references. So if you're looking for the Q&A report, you can download it as CSV or XLS file format. So you can view the reports. Similarly, whatever the reports that you're looking for, you would be able to download it in CSV or XLS file format. So here is the report type Q&A, the generated time, webinar ID, scheduled time of the webinar, number of questions asked during the webinar. You can see the question, asker name, asker email ID, and the answers provided. All right, with this, I'm completing with the demonstration of webinar integration, and I'm going to take you back to the presentation to show you how you get this webinar add-on for your users. So to get this add-on, you have to go to CRM Setup, Marketplace, Zoho, Zoho Webinar, and Upgrade. So there is no additional charges for this webinar add-on. If you have a paid webinar edition already, you would be able to use this integration. So the webinar edition, any paid edition of webinars starts at $19 per user per month for 25 attendees. So we have up to 250 attendees. It starts with 25 attendees and that costs $19 per user per month. If you have the webinar edition, you would be able to access this webinar integration within CRM. This is available only for CRM, Enterprise and Ultimate editions. So this particular webinar integration is available only for CRM, Enterprise and Ultimate editions. Okay, that brings us to the end of the webinar today. Try the Zoho CRM, Zoho Meeting integration and do share with us your feedback. It's time for some questions. Please let us know if you have any questions about any of the features that I've explained today, and we will be happy to help you out. Thank you all once again. Have a wonderful day ahead. Bye-bye.